up, though?
Welcome to Woman Crush Every Day, where we discuss queer media, especially when it is black and especially when it is woman. I'm your host, Tang B, aka Sean B. Scribe.
And I'm your host, Allison, aka Al Wu.
And today we are going to discuss Bessie.
Yes, with Queen Latifah. But before we get into all that good stuff, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. So if you're interested in content and commentary that features the lives and stories of black queer women, this is what we do all the time. So yeah, make sure you get those notifications, get those bells, so you know where it is. And
yeah, and you definitely want to talk to us because we've talked about all kind of stuff. We talked about the L Word, Generation Q.
Yes.
We talked about 20s. We've talked about several web series that y'all should check out. Some
Yes.
short films. We've got interviews with folks. So you want to tap in because you want all this black queer love.
Yes.
Especially when it's woman.
You feel me? They feel us.
All right. So that leads us into one of our favorite black queer women.
Yes. And I'm sorry, did you mention that this is Black History Month too?
This is Black History Month, y'all.
Digging into the archives and finding stories that really tell like the grander picture of black queer women's existence over the decades, over the millennia, really. Now, we don't go into millennia, but we do go into the 20s. And so Bessie, starring Queen Latifah, it follows the story, this biopic of Bessie Smith, who is credited with being one of the, two or three, pioneers, really, of blues music. And her, along with Ma Rainey, this movie kind of just goes into Bessie's life and tells her story and her trials and triumphs. And it was just a really, really enjoyable film.
And spoiler, Bessie has a boo. She had several women boos, all which are a composite of Lucille in this movie. So the queer life is out. You don't have to guess. You don't have to read between the lines. They put it right out there for you.
They totally did. So in terms of that, what was your favorite scene from this movie?
Okay, several favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes is when Bessie brings Jack G. Jr. home.
Oh my gosh.
And doesn't tell anybody. I mean, she said that she wanted to adopt this little boy. She said that she wanted a baby. And Jack G., who she was with, was like, that's crazy. And she waits until it's Thanksgiving dinner. She brings this little boy home. She tells him, your name is now Jack G.
So
Jr.
funny.
And say that. And Lucille is sitting there at the table like, ooh.
Wow.
Bessie really done it this time. And Jack G was not having it at first, but he had to cave after little boy said, he said, what's your name? He said, my name is Jack G. Jr.
That was so funny. So funny. Definitely one of the best scenes. Definitely a standout scene from the movie.
Definitely. I think my runner-up is when Bessie got on the train with Ma Rainey. And Ma Rainey's got somebody rubbing her feet. She got a woman with her chest out, just walking around. And Bessie just realizes, oh, it's lit here. This is my style.
Yes. No, that was totally one of my favorite scenes as well. I mean, I think for me, seeing that scene, I love what picture it painted in terms of that black women's queer identity didn't start in response to feminism, or I feel like a way that we always hear that, it's no, this was before that was even a concept in conversation. I mean, I don't want to say concept conversation, but that wasn't what this was in the spirit of, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. This isn't a modern idea. I love that they showed that. So excellent scene. Those women were naked on the train too. I think Ma Rainey having a train full of bad bitches was just
epic.
I knew. I was
epic.
This is a great scene.
It was big pimping and everybody on the boat, the yacht. Ma Rainey had a train
in the train. Okay, let's go.
That's a new definition to running the train. Okay.
Okay. Oh, yikes!
Before it got scary,
right.
It was just a good time.
It was a good time. These ladies loved it. Yo, so no, I love that scene. I think another scene that I really liked was, two scenes that I feel like I want to lift up. The scene when Bessie kind of stood up Ma Rainey, and so not necessarily that scene, but when they came back from that and they're on the train and Ma Rainey approaches her pretty much kicks her off, but like that was just an enjoyable scene for me. I don't know why. I really like that. But I guess I liked it because too is that it came full circle. So like in the end of the movie, or not the end, but later on in the film, when Bessie kind of loses it all and kind of falls off and she needs a place to go, she goes to Ma Rainey, and Ma Rainey takes her in, takes care of her, really shows her love, and just kind of like seeing that simple life that Ma Rainey was living. She's like living on a farm and feeding chickens and stuff, you know, and really helped to get Bessie's mental health back on track, it felt like. So I just thought that was really beautiful.
I love that it showed Ma Rainey's growth over time, to go from I'm a little jealous of you and I think you're still in my shine to I can still mentor and mother you, even if at a moment you were considered hotter than me. You're not my competition, you're my sister, you're my friend.
Yeah
That was really
good stuff. Oh, okay,
love it. Okay, who was your woman crush?
My woman crush, hands down, goes to Lucille, played by Tika Sumpter. I'm just like, first off, Tika Sumpter is fine as hell. Just, it is what it is. Boom, boom, boom. I love that she's playing this queer character. It's sad that it doesn't work out for them, but I mean, come on. It's Tika Sumpter. What do you want from me?
She was gorgeous.
What do you want from me?
She was gorgeous.
I'm just a human.
I would say that she was my woman crush, but I also wish they have given Lucille more of a voice. And I realized she was a composite of people, so she was there to show, Ma Rainey had women in her life that she cared about deeply on more than a friend level, who were always there. But I wanted more from Lucille. I wanted to know more. So my woman crush is actually Ma Rainey. Because first of all, just seeing Ma Rainey do Prove It On Me Blues, which is like a content crush of song of mine for like years. I think Prove It On Me Blues.
Prove It On Me, that song, like, please go Google that song. Please go find out, like, dig into Ma Rainey's Prove It On Me Blues.
It's just the lyrics
Prove It On Me.
Let you know
what time it is.
What time it is.
Yeah.
So to see Monique do that, to see Monique show the real brevity of Ma Rainey that I feel like we didn't necessarily get in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom by August Wilson, to show, Ma Rainey really at a place of growth and to fall and to get back up again. So, I thought Monique did a great job, and it made me just want to watch a movie about Ma Rainey.
Yes, I hear that.
Because Bessie and her toxic relationships was a bit much for me. I was like, nah, give me the person in drag. Let's go there.
Word. Yo, I do feel like I want to kind of honorable mention the scene where Bessie and Ma Rainey go to the gentleman's club.
Yes.
It's like, I know we kind of passed that already.
Yeah. No. That was one
I want to go back and say that was fly to see them. They like dressed up in suits and went and played cards with the fellas and seemingly had a good time. It seemed like this is what they do all the time. That was just a cool scene.
It really was. It really was.
So anyway, jumping back, what can stay? What can go? Where you at?
What can stay? What can go? I mean, I loved being able to see like the trajectory of Bessie's career. That can definitely stay. And even the nuances of her different romantic relationships, to see like her dynamic with Lucille and like Lucille's loyalty to her, to see her dynamic with G and actually all the lovers she had, and just how she refused to be monogamous. I feel like Bessie was just really bold for her time to refuse to just be heterosexual, refuse to just be monogamous, refuse to just play the woman role. Like, I'm gonna be a headliner, and I'm like, I just feel like that can stay. And the friendship between Ma Rainey and Bessie, and the way that Ma Rainey helped Bessie get more coin, understand the business of touring, like understand her value as an artist, understand her value as a Black female artist. All that can stay. All that can stay. What can go is the toxic ass relationship. The violence, I can't do it, y'all. I can't do it.
At the beginning when like she had to like stab this dude, I'm like, let me tell you, I ain't doing that.
No.
Okay, if you want to know one thing about me, I do not stab for love. I stab for hate. That's where I'm stabbing. I hate you. Okay, it's OB. We done. Yeah, there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of violence for love, and I just don't use that type of language towards my loved ones.
That's why we get along.
You know what I'm saying?
It's one of the many reasons.
You know what I'm saying? But
if you wake up with a black eye, I don't know that I can just kiss and forgive you the next morning. No.
Yeah, it's sad that some people feel differently, but hey, I honestly, that's not my business. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live your best life. Okay, so toxic relationships can go.
Toxic romantic and family relationships can go.
Word.
So yeah, that's what I got. What about you?
Okay, what can stay for me? Monique acting, period. That can stay. Yeah. You know, the fact that Monique got blackballed out the industry, I think is very unfortunate. Because I like Monique on screen. You know, I do think what Monique brings to a character, and I think we talked about this in another video, another conversation, or maybe it wasn't in a Woman Crush, but it's interesting to see Monique's portrayal of Ma Rainey versus Viola Davis's portrayal of Ma Rainey in August Wilson's, in the film adaptation of August Wilson's Ma Rainey's, what's the name? Black Bottom, right? So one of the conversations that we had was like, in looking at Viola Davis as Ma Rainey, felt like Viola Davis as Ma Rainey. Wait, that's not it. It felt like Viola Davis was really trying to embody a different person, where I feel like Monique is Monique, but I love Monique, and I felt like I just felt like she had the spirit of Ma Rainey.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
natural thing.
The casting felt more like this is a different person. You know, she's gonna do her thing, but like, she gets it. She can do that, you know? And I thought that Monique did a great job as Ma Rainey. It was really funny. So I think Monique acting, period, that can stay. Queen Latifah as a lesbian.
Love it.
I wish that
we
stayed.
Love it.
You know, I wish that lasted. That can stay. And I think Bessie just as a bad bitch, you know what I mean? And fighting for what she wants and fighting for what she believes in overall, just as a character, I think her Bessie, like the actual Bessie, as a leader, a forerunner, you know, for us to be able to tell these stories, I think that is just such a beautiful thing.
It is.
But what can go? Bessie not being able to say I love you back to Lucille. Oh my God. You know,
I cares for you. You know why I cares for you.
You know,
get out of here.
It wasn't enough. That was sad.
There's some lesbians today that could take a note.
Yeah, facts. But that was whack. These using ass dudes. There's a lot of using ass dudes around. You know,
Mike Epps' character came through though.
He did. Shout out him.
He was like, I ain't your bootlegger no more.
That's exactly what he said. Like, he came over you. He came over you just then. I love that. yeah, what she had to go through with these dudes, I think was pretty whack. And also, it was the dudes that essentially kind of made her spiral. It was really some dude, whoever proposed to Lucille and took Lucille out of her house, was the catalyst for her spiral. She's an alcohol. Like Bessie turned to alcohol. I mean, she was already a drunk a little bit, but she really started drinking after her girl left. She started drinking. Her money must have been fucked up. It was all kind of stuff.
Taking care of her. Jack G. Jr.
Boom. Yeah, Jack G took the kid. It was just all bad. So,
all bad.
I think whatever it was that she was battling can go. Yeah. Because that was unfortunate. It really
this was why
left
you
her
need
undone.
To tell women that you love them so that they don't leave
you
for their fake, stand-in husbands.
Dude who's willing to lie to her face.
Yeah.
And say, I love you. Let me stop. I'm joking. But yeah. It
was a dangerous time.
Different times, for sure. All right. So, in terms of where is this in the queer canon?
Where is this in the queer canon? Well, first, I just want to say that for this to be a biopic, and I really love that our most recent biopics are really talking about people's sexuality. And it's kind of controversial because I know, as we look back at, Pauli Murray, as we look back at Bayard Rustin, as we look back at, Bayard Rustin was pretty out, but if we look back at Langston Hughes, Alvin Ailey, these people who we are doing these biopics for and talking about their sexuality, but so many of them wanted that part hidden for their own safety, for their own mental, peace, for whatever. Yeah. So it's I feel blessed to have their histories uncovered and be able to see reflections of who we can be and who we've always been there. But then it's also tough because, we're really going against the ancestors' wishes. But I love that in this biopic, it's not hidden away. It's not a tiny little point. It is clear. Bessie has all kinds of ways of loving people, and that is just as important to her story as her music. Yes. And that's really what they made it in this. And I think that's a beautiful addition to the queer canon, to have those two pillar items of her life stand side by side and have equal importance.
Yeah, totally. Oh man. Yeah, I guess when I think about where it fits in the queer canon for me, I kind of touched on this stuff earlier, but I think it's so important to create, or not even create, but tell the stories that represent queer identity, and prove that this is not a new phenomenon of just spoiled kids, spoiled black kids who too close to white people and white influence and all kinds of stuff. I'm we're seeing people who were surrounded by black folk. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't even be around white folk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Legally
could not just be around white people, and didn't want to be in a lot of ways, because how we saw that scene where when she got around, she's getting praised by all these white people, but then they want to put her in a film called Nigger Heaven.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
No.
It's no, the safety that had to be found in black community, and I appreciate the fact that this film shows that. It shows black audiences being queer and also being joyful. Yeah. I think there was definitely still pushback, but knowing that Ma Rainey recorded a song, Prove It On Me, where she talks about not liking men. You know what I'm saying? I want women around me. I'm messing around with them, and if you say you saw me with them, well, prove it. Prove it. There is a boldness that has existed for so long, and I think that it just, where it fits is just, it shines. I don't even say fits. It to me, it shines in the queer canon of pointing out that this story is universal and timeless. Yes. So I feel like gotta say that first, and I also have a note to just shout out Michael K. Williams, who played Jack G. Rest in peace to the ancestor. Really? Like, phenomenal actor, did his thing on this as well. Like, but it's really just a shout out because he played a queer character on The Wire. You know what I mean? So I think it's like seeing him in this story about a queer woman and playing the husband. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it still feels like I see you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It still feels like I see you moment. Yes. So just shout out to him. Shout out to this film and supporting the telling of queer stories.
Absolutely. Also, I didn't know that this film was nearly a decade in the making. Oh. They spent a lot of time. Queen Latifah spent a lot of time kind of embodying Ma Rainey and being immersed in the research, and spent a lot of time on this film and preparing for it. And I just wanted to bring up the scene where Bessie is just sitting in the mirror, totally topless, just taking everything off, the lashes, the earrings, the everything, and that rawness. And I just really appreciate that. I think for all the wanting that, you know, I think the whole queer community has wanted of, like, Queen Latifah, we want you to be like super out and proud. And the way that she's like chosen, like, I'm just live my life. I got my girl, I got my kid, we're happy, we do our thing. And to see like that rawness of, I'm not going to give you the glitz and glam all the time. Sometimes it just is what it is. I'm not going to make a dramatic scene out of it. And I feel like, that was sort of the approach to this movie. Like, we're going to show you the star Bessie, and then we're going to show you Bessie. And I love that. So thank you, Queen Latifah, for, you know, just giving your full spirit to the piece.
Yeah. I was shocked seeing Queen Latifah topless like that. I was like, oh, the moment we've all been waiting for. I just was not expecting that. You know, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, this is really Queen Latifah titties out. Yeah. That's what we're doing today. So if you want to see that, watch Bessie.
It's so rare to see, like, topless women not being sexualized. Like, topless women just being topless for the fact of, just like, living. Everybody get topless at the end of the day.
Off. Yes. Like, I'm about to go to bed. I'm taking off the things. Yeah. It was so pure.
It was so
like,
pure.
Yeah, so if you're looking for, like, if you're going nasty, don't go nasty.
It's not like that.
We're not seeing it for that. But, like,
it's like, I had a long day and a long life, but I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that. So if you want to see somebody with a long day and a long life.
Long titties.
Long titties.
Long titties.
All right.
And on that note.
Right.
This has been Bessie.
Yes. If you have not seen Bessie, please, we encourage you to watch it and, like, leave comments and share what you thought about the film. And all that good stuff. You know we like vibing with y'all.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, until next time,
peace.